phone here, so I'm trying to keep as quiet as I can. This is my third fish now. It's slightly better than the other two. The other two were roach, and this one is a rudd. So it's all going well. Let's just hope they can get a bit bigger than what they are at the moment. There's the one. It's roach again. It's another fish. It's a roach again. So that's my fourth fish, and they've all been on small pieces of worm, so that's something unusual. Okay, just to say, it's the 2nd of June. It's a bank holiday, but I am doing something slightly different today. I'm not fishing on a method feeder or a pole. I'm fishing it's an antenna waggler. That's the float, and it takes only a couple of shots, a couple of number 6s, and I've got 2 number 9s actually on the hook length, and I'm fishing with this very small piece of worm, and well, the bites are tremendous. I did loose feed with maggots beforehand and hemp and corn with the intention of catching a tench, but that doesn't get a float is, and I'm just fishing a rod link off and not even trying to go any further than that, because I'm sure if you did, you'd have a load of line on the surface, and even if you tried to flick the line under, because it's so windy, you'd just be drifting all over the place. So I don't see any need of that on a day like this. The water's coloured up, obviously the fish are feeding, so with that I'm going to carry on and see if I can do a bit more. Fish number 5. Yeah, again it's a small one, but you're welcome. To be honest with you, it's better than catching nothing. Okay folks, there's going to be a bit of a name drop in here. It's Vajuco. I don't know whether you can make that out. It's right where my finger one, and it resembles tears, to be honest with you. Black tears as it happens as well, and I am using hemp and sweet corn, so I may well give that a go later on. But as for now, I'm going to stick with the worm, because apparently there's supposed to be perch in here, which I've never caught anything of any significance perch wise anyway. I know there are rudd in here, and I know there's crucian carp as well, because I have had a 2-pound crucian carp out here, so keep my fingers crossed. Early days yet. I'll just keep the feed going in and see what comes along. Catch you later. Okay folks, I just had skimmer bream. Yeah, only a little one, but it's all good fun. I'm being careful with the fish. I'm putting them all in the landing net and returning them into the water, because I don't want to damage them. They're only delicate little things. And hopefully they'll grow on to be a lot bigger, and anyone who fishes this water will have the pleasure of catching them, but hopefully considerably a lot bigger than what I am. But at the moment it's just a bit of fun, and as long as I'm catching, I'm happy. See folks, there's the worm on the hook. As you can see, it's not that big. I've got a fairly big hook on. It's a size 14 hook, and the only reason for that is if there is anything decent, it's going to have a firm hold with that. And I have had last time I fished in the lily pad swim. It's one of my previous videos. I did have a carp on the tiniest piece of worm you'd ever want to see, and it was a decent fish as well, and it took me right through the lily and snapped me up. So you know, it does pay you to have beefy tackle on, even if you're catching small fish, because at least you're giving yourself a chance then. You know, if you've got like too light the line on and a good tension has a go at the worm, it's going to snap you straight away, basically. Catch you in a bit. Okay folks, I just had another little rud. I'm actually having a field day with all these small fish, so at the moment I'm on a small piece of corn. It's a kernel of corn, and I've just cut it in half basically because most of the fish that are here are small, and if you put anything too big, I thought I'd try it just to see if there's anything else about. Before long I'll be changing my clothes, I think, and putting something on that'll keep the rain out, because it definitely looks like it's taking a turn for the worse now. Some waterproof leggings on, I think. Just add a take on a piece of corn. It's definitely a better fish, that is. There's a fish, it's a roach, and as you can see it's probably around about 3 or 4 ounces, that one, and that was on the corn. It's barbless hook, it comes straight out, so I don't use anything but barbless hooks anyway, to be honest with you, because you can bring anything in on a barbless hook. Okay folks, I just had a quick change because it's really blowing now and looks like there's going to be a spot of rain any minute. So just a waterproof jacket and waterproof leggings. If you've got it there, you might as well use it. So that's what I've done now. I've left it for about sort of 15 minutes because I walked back to my car where the car park is, and just before I left I put some sweet corn and hemp into the swim. I'm going to try the worm again, see what happens. Okay folks, so things are very quiet now in this swim, so whether that's an indication a carp has moved in and pushed all the other fish out. From where I was catching the roach and small rudd and a skimmer bream, it's gone dead at the moment. So the float's about 2.5 feet away from where the end of my rod is. The rod is the Dyer whisker match rod with the E-splice tip. As you can see, nothing much is moving there, if you can make out my float. This place, see, it's gone a bit quiet, so it picks up again. I'll let you know. Okay, I come off the corn, and what I've got on now is a pretty decent offering of worm, to be honest with you. So whether that does the trick, give it a try. What I'm going to do now is chop up some more worm, see if I can kickstart this peg again now, because it's gone a bit dead, to be honest with you. Doesn't seem to be taking anything. I have got maggots with me, but you can bet your life there'll only be a little tiny roach taking her. That's usually par for course anyway. The wind is is pretty relentless down there, to be honest with you. It's picked up quite a bit now. All the water is gone all choppy. Okay folks, I've just noticed the culprit. There is a big carp in my swim now. It's just gone past about 2 foot away from the end of my float, so I was wondering what had happened. So obviously the carp have moved in and pushed the smaller fish out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get done. If I hit a carp, you know, I'm going to get done straight away, yeah. Okay, yeah, just to see the roach are back. There's another little one. And that was on a really big piece of worm as well. And I was just after a rather large carp went through the swim. Okay folks, I just had my first fish on a maggot, and it's actually taking it down a piece of fajuka, which is the it's like a black putty like feed, and its texture is really quite soft, and you can just release that small roach and the landing net again. You can shape the feed, which I'll try and show you in my hand now. That's what it looks like. I don't know whether you can make that out. You can actually shape that to whatever shape you want to make it. It's very spongy, just like putty, to be honest with you. But I caught that roach on that. What I did is I tipped it with a red maggot right on the end as well. As in previous videos folks, if you could please click on the red subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, it is free, and you can access other videos that I've got. It just encourages me to go out there and some more videos out there for you. So sorry to keep saying the same repetitive thing, but anyone will tell you who makes a video for YouTube, they want to grow the channel, and so do I. So that out the way, I'll get back to fishing, because I've just caught a nice crucian, which is that. Lovely fish. So put it back as quickly as I can. I'll just knock off. It's got a decent blood. Not massive by any means, but it's, well, by far the star of the day so far is a nice fish. I'm sure anybody would love to catch a lovely looking perch on this. That's a nice crucian carp, nice perch, about £1.5, and a couple of fairly decent roach, but they're all coming to worm, to be honest with you. If I put a corn or maggot on, it's just you're best plagued with small fish, so to me it's a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest with you. It looks like it's worm all the way. And lucky enough I have got a couple left, but I'm holding back now, because I think what's been happening is they've been gorging on the worms, and they're not taking my bait, so I'm putting a slightly bigger piece of worm on, but I'm folding it over a few times. But I just think it's patience game, to be honest with you. You know, I waited all morning and into the afternoon for these fish that's turned up now. And literally up until about an hour ago, there was no signs of anything of any consequence being addressed at all. But obviously they're mooching around. They could be anywhere in the lake, like same wherever you go, even if it's a river. And you just have to have the patience and be lucky enough to be in the right place, and today I have been. But it's not always the case. You can fish 1,000 times and 1,000 times be unlucky, and then one day you can just be in the right spot and fall on them. And I wouldn't say I've actually fallen on them today. I've had to work at these fish. They've had plenty of loose offerings. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping my rod well away from where I'm actually catching the fish, so it's not going to cast a shadow over where they're feeding. Yeah, let's see if anything else is about. Well, I've attempted to pack up about 4 times, but with the catch of the perch I had and a nice crucian carp as well, I just don't know what's going to come along now. Hopefully it could be something a little bit better, but you always want a bit more. Everyone who goes fishing always expects to catch something a little bit better. You never know, do you? It's this an unknown quantity. What are you going to catch? How big it's going to be? What species it is? Every water you fish has its specimen fish relative to the size of water and the number of fish that's in it. But you know, the weather's turned out really nice now. There's still that strong breeze there, but the clouds didn't come to anything. Which I'm glad to see, to be honest with you. One thing I did have, which I'm glad fell off, it was only a bootlace eel, but apparently there's eels up to 3.5 pound in here, and I don't really want to be catching any of them, so if I can help it I won't. But you can't really tell what's going to go on the end of your line, can you? So it could be that you catch one anyway. So most of my fish, as I say, have still come into the worm. I have taken a few on corn and maggot as well, but by far the best fish have all come to the worm. So something's to be said about the old-fashioned worm, isn't it? You know, it's free, doesn't cost you anything, and despite all the hype about maggots and corn and everything else, it's the good old worm that seems to prevail all the time. So what I've been doing is popping it in a feeder pot, pole feeder pot that is, and chopping it up, because I've purchased some of these triple blade scissors, and I'm chopping it up in the feeder pot, and then putting some hemp in there and some corn as well, and pushing it out to where I'm fishing, and then I'm just turning it over and washing it round to make sure it's all come out. It seems to be effective anyway, but by far the best fish have all come to the worm. So something's to be said about the old-fashioned worm, isn't it? You know, it's free, doesn't cost you anything, and despite all the hype about maggots and corn and everything else, it's the good old worm that seems to prevail all the time. So what I've been doing is popping it in a feeder pot, pole feeder pot that is, and chopping it up, because I've purchased some of these triple blade scissors, and I'm chopping it up in the feeder pot, and then putting some hemp in there and some corn as well, and pushing it out to where I'm fishing, and then I'm just turning it over and washing it round to make sure it's all come out. It seems to be effective anyway, so I can catch something else. Right, I'm back to catching the little ones again. But the trouble is, you just don't know what could come next. You know, they're obviously in amongst all these small ones, the bigger fish, and probably the perch, especially following the small roach in and snapping the littler ones. I did think the crucian carp would make more of a showing, but I don't know, it's just been our one fish. That's par for the course, so I just had a tidy fish on. I'll never know what it was, presuming it was a carp. Yeah, then the fish I lost was decent size by the look of it, so I'll never know what it was, whether it was a big tench, a perch or whatever, but it milled around in front of me for a short while, which led me to believe it could be a tench or a crucian carp, and then it veered left, and the hook just pulled out of its mouth. It didn't snap me or anything, it just pulled out. I never know what that was. A bit of a shame, because I was sort of holding my own with the fight as well, to be honest with you. They had the clutch set nice, but the bush that I've got right by the side of me, it went right round the bush, so he had little chance of bringing it past the bush. It probably would have buried me in the bush eventually. So yeah, it's always nice to catch these fish, because you just really don't know, do you? It could be anything. You know, sure as hell, and carp will turn up sooner or later. The amount of feed I've been putting in, and you know, they are hungry for the food now. They've started to feed again properly. They're not chasing each other around so much with the spawning. And there's the odd person catching carp down here as well, so I'm saying it's a carp, and if it wasn't, it was probably a really decent perch or a massive tench. A weird bite as well. I gave, sort of played around with it for a while, and then slowly took it under. And then a small roach. See if anything else better comes along. Right, so what I am doing with these worms is I'm cutting them off at the tail. That one's actually a bit long, but I'm trying to catch something bit better than I've been catching up to now. Then the line that's above it, all the juices is coming out of the back and rubbing it on the line. So hopefully that'll give it a bit more attraction. Oh, so yet again, folks, I got a pretty good roach. Yeah, see, yet again, I got a pretty good roach here again, covered in slime. So my battery is just about to run out again, so I think that's all I'm going to be putting out for you again this week. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Catch you again on the back.